Hello, welcome to our Wednesday devotional. I apologize for missing the last couple of weeks. I had pneumonia and was unable to one week, and then the next week I was feeling better. But our sound man who puts these on our website was not available, so I didn't even try. So this week I have a devotional thought that I want to share with you that I hope will be a blessing to you. Sometimes, as employers, we give out an instruction and say, if you'll do this, I'll do this. Sometimes as parents, we tell our children, if you'll clean up your room, you can have this privilege or that privilege this evening. So we give the conditions, if you'll do this and if you'll do that. With our school, our teachers often will tell the students, if you'll do this, you'll get perhaps a longer recess, or if everyone completes their assignment, so forth and so on. So if is a big, big word. As I was reading in my devotional recently, I'm in the book of Deuteronomy, and I was reading again when God was sharing with them what blessings, with the Israelites, what blessings they would have if they would obey, and what would happen if they didn't obey. Let me read a couple of verses from Genesis 28, beginning in verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth, and all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Isn't that the way we do? If. God had promised them many, many blessings. What a wonderful, wonderful principle that is. If we obey, God will bless. If we obey, God will bless. However, later on in that chapter, in verse 15, he says, But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord. Now, after he said in the first part of the chapter, if you will, he gave verse after verse of blessings that would take place. Then after verse 15, he says, if you won't hearken, and he begins to give all the curses that would come upon them as a nation. What a sad thing would happen. That principle, I believe, has not changed. Obedience brings God's blessings. Disobedience brings problems and punishment and discipline. So here are the practical applications. First, am I doing what I know to be right? You see, often we talk about, I'm not sure I know God's perfect will. Often we talk about, I don't know exactly what the answer to this is. You know what? We'll get the answer normally if we do the things we know are right. Those aren't hard. They aren't hard to know, at least. Sometimes they're hard to do. Am I doing what I know I should be doing? If yes, if I'm doing it, then rejoice. God's promised his blessings. Now listen, sometimes his blessings come in odd ways in our thinking. His blessings don't seem to be overflowing. Yet, if we're in God's will, whatever is happening to us to be a blessing. Then, if we're not doing his will, if we're being disobedient to things that we know to do or not to do, we can expect his punishment. We need to repent. We need to make that thing right, whatever it is. So I want to encourage you today with the principle that if we obey, God will bless. If we don't obey, there'll be punishment to pay. In fact, later on in the next chapter, he said this in chapter 29 and verse 9. He said, keep therefore, because you know this principle, keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them, that ye may prosper in all that you do. These promises weren't to us specifically, they were to the Israelites. However, the principle is still true today. Obey God and be blessed. I trust you'll have a wonderful day, obeying God and being blessed. God bless you.